The Aaron Rodgers trade rumors are back in a big way for the Tennessee Titans. And if you want Rodgers on the Titans like I do, type me in the comment section and show us that that is something you guys want. You're watching Tennessee Titans today. I am Tom Downey here, as always, to break down the latest going on around Tennessee. And we're going to begin with Aaron Rodgers as the trade rumors and speculation continues, as Rodgers has still not yet made a decision on what he wants to do this upcoming year. Now, Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk founder, writes that, well, as Rodgers doesn't know, he is down to a couple of teams, including the Tennessee Titans. It's also worth mentioning that Rodgers allegedly has recently purchased land in the Nashville area. Here's what Florio wrote. The destinations are believed to be exclusively in the AFC. To little surprise, the Broncos are one of them. Other viable possibilities are, we're told, the Titans and Steelers. To be clear, if Rodgers chooses Denver or Tennessee or Pittsburgh, the deals will fall into place quickly, both as to the trade terms and as to the contract Rodgers would sign. Thus, as we understand it, the current question isn't simply Packers versus not the Packers. It's Green Bay or Denver or Tennessee or Pittsburgh, with the final move hinging on whatever Rodgers decides to do. I'd go all in for Aaron Rodgers, guys. Getting Rodgers on this team instantly makes them a Super Bowl favorite. Maybe not the favorite given how tough the AFC is, but adding Rodgers to your roster unlocks the offense in a way they're just not going to be able to do with Ryan Tannehill. I think Tannehill's a fine QB. Aaron Rodgers is the back-to-back NFL MVP. Yes, this would be expensive. You'd ship out Ryan Tannehill in some type of trade, maybe to Green Bay or get something back, and you'd be moving multiple premium assets, multiple firsts, seconds, and or players. But you would be all in on a pretty narrow window of, as long as Rodgers is your quarterback, you've got a Super Bowl chance. Now, maybe that's 2 years. Maybe that's 3 years. Maybe it's 4 years. Hell, maybe it's 5 somehow. But with Derrick Henry on a big contract, defense young and talented, this is a prime opportunity for Tennessee to go all in. Now, in the event you acquire Rodgers, Tannehill's out of here. They would shop him, and somebody would trade for him. Would you get a premium asset back? Maybe. But if you're a team like Washington or Pittsburgh, the other losers of the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, hypothetically speaking, Tannehill's better than a lot of what's out there. He's just as good as Jimmy Garoppolo, isn't he? He's not a bad QB. He's not. Now, if you trade for Rodgers and you don't send Tannehill to Green Bay, the value of Tannehill goes down because you got to move him quickly. And even though he's not a bad QB, I don't know if he's enough to really win you what you want to win, which, of course, is a title. Then again, I'm going to go with Washington again specifically. If you're the Commanders, he's a lot better than what you got on your roster right now. So I want you guys to make some predictions here for me. Will Rodgers play for the Titans this year? Will Tennessee be able to trade for him? Y for yes or N for no. Despite me wanting to go after this move, I'm not sold on it. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I still think Denver, if Rodgers gets dealt, is where he ends up. There's interest with Pittsburgh, of course, as well, but Tennessee, don't you owe it to your organization to go and try to do it in the event you can get him? Now, I think what ends up happening here is the Packers are not listening to calls right now. If Rodgers says, I'm out, then you go all in and you say, hey, what do you want? Because in theory, this sounds like Rodgers will choose where he wants to go, at which point, maybe the value does come down a little bit in terms of a trade package. It'd be expensive. It's absolutely worth it. What's not expensive is this St. Patrick's Day gear on sale at chatsports.com/TitansGreen. You can get just normal t-shirts or a little Derrick Henry jersey t-shirt, we'll call it there, the whatever the proper phrase is there. Jersey, thank you, Producer Jack. You can get the hoodies, men's and women's gear is available at chatsports.com/TitansGreen. Check the comment section and the description. Put that link in there for you guys to go click, shop, and save. Rodger Saffold, his future now suddenly murky, as Saffold, which we'll get to in a minute, posted a cryptic tweet potentially teasing him being released by Tennessee. Saffold has a hefty-ish cap hit, just under $13 million, with a lot in potential savings in the event the Titans were to release Saffold. Here's what Saffold posted on Twitter on March 5th, the evening. I don't regret one moment with you. Now, was that about a person? Is that about Tennessee? We know how social media can get. Things get out of whack, but is it about the Titans? Are they going to cut him? It makes sense as they potentially franchise tag Harold Landry in the next, call it 24-ish hours, depending on when you're watching this. It's a tough decision to make with Saffold. I like the player. He's been good for a long time, but he's aging. You save a lot of money, but you also got a big-time need at guard if you release Saffold. Then again, you could cut him and invest that money in, say, a Ben Jones, hypothetically, and retain your center. Maybe Dylan Radins ends up being a piece for you at guard after I thought was going to play right tackle year one. They line him up at guard. Maybe you make him your starter. So that tricky conversation is tricky, right? Like, it's not a clear-cut answer because I like the football player. But at age 33 and soon to be 34 years old, do you want to extend him? And that's where things get tricky. Maybe what you do is you cut him saying, hey, we might bring you back depending on what else you get on the open market. I doubt he would take a pay cut. It's not what players typically do in the era of a rising salary cap each and every single year. So it's tough. I don't want to cut Saffold. He's a good football player. You need good football players on your team. You got to pay A.J. Brown. You got to pay Jeffrey Simmons. You got to pay Harold Landry. You might have to pay Aaron Rodgers. So all of those things make you go, maybe it's time to move on. Take that $10 million in savings and use it to help franchise tag Harold Landry. Resign Ben Jones. It's not an easy conversation, and I would guess that this gets brought up closer to the deadline since it's been almost 2 days and no actual word of an official release out of Saffold as we sit right now. Now, we've done cut candidate videos in the past, so I want you now to name a player who you think the Tennessee Titans should cut. Head down to the comments section and let me know what player you want to see Tennessee move on from this offseason. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us here at Tennessee Titans Today. We are so close. Call it 56 subs away from 2,500 here on our channel. But we want to get to 3K and then beyond. So if you want free Titans videos all off-season long, subscribe right now.